Joining me now from Milwaukee is NBC's Brewster. So, Shaq, set the scene. You have been there. What's the mood like in the city? How are they preparing?
Well, I'm sure during this report you'll hear the preparations, but I'll show you some of the preparations, these last-minute preparations outside of the Pfizer Forum. You have the security barricades that we know will blanket the downtown area are still being built as we speak. As we know, Secret Service is responsible for security inside of the secure zone, but when you go beyond that, that's when it's the responsibility of the Milwaukee Police Department. And I talked to them several times. They say they are ready. They know that there's protests involved, but they feel confident about their ability to secure this convention.
Shaq, you always talk to the most fascinating people, and you met something of an odd couple, I think it's safe to say, of politicians that helped get this convention off the ground. Tell us about them.
Yeah, these are two who have been turning some heads here in Wisconsin, where the state has been in this open political warfare for well over a decade. I'm talking about Reince Priebus, the former head of the Republican Party, former President Trump's first chief of staff, and the mayor here, Cavalier, a Democrat who's strongly backing President Joe Biden. They've been working together to bring this convention, to recruit and donors for this convention and volunteers for it. And I sat down and talked to them about what their partnership has been able to accomplish. Listen here.
We both love politics, but we've come together, I think, for something great. And the mayor has been fabulous to work with from day one. And I've kind of joked that I've got to be careful with all these compliments because I'm going to ruin his political career. He's not going to be able to run for anything the way this is going.
Have you heard people say you're looking a little too close to the Republican Party here with this?
Look, you got a Democrat in a city that votes overwhelmingly for Democrats, voted overwhelmingly for President Joe Biden in 2020, will do so again in 2024.
Maybe not as much.
Well, I think we will. But yeah, I mean, there have been folks on my side of the aisle say, well, why are you hosting the RNC? And my thought, again, is those things that I said before. Like, I want to create a virtuous economic cycle in Milwaukee. I think the RNC helps us to be able to do that.
What was that first conversation like when you wanted to bring this to Milwaukee's being talked about? You guys were making the pitch. What was that first conversation like when you had to realize, okay, it's going to take partnership between a Democratic mayor and the Republican Party?
Well, I wasn't sure because I didn't really know the mayor. And we met at a restaurant with a group of members of the RNC. And I was sort of, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I think he's extremely talented. And I think he could be dangerous as a candidate, quite frankly, from a Republican standpoint. And he emphatically delivered, without hesitation, the commitment to bring a lot of money to the city. And he was always focused on that. And I saw that from day one.
How did this partnership start?
Well, first, I'll hold you to that, Reince.
You did.
In terms of being dangerous to Republicans.
Oh, that. Okay. Well.
But I mean, to Reince's point, I mean, the relationship started. I think there was an appreciation on my part about what this could mean for Milwaukee. They know I'm a Democrat. They know what my values are. Like, I don't approve of the Republican platform or certainly the nominee for the Republican Party. But I do support being in a position to be able to grow Milwaukee.
The partnership that people see helps people have the confidence that this convention will deliver. We're going to be, it's not just production inside the arena. It's construction. It's a $75 million security grant that we had to work together on in Washington, D.C. to make sure was delivered. That's $25 million more than has ever been granted to a host city.
You guys helped change legislation.
It was really hard. We were calling each other, like, hey, have you talked to Tammy Baldwin? Have you talked to your guys?
What's the takeaway from this?
Well, I mean, exactly what Reince just said, right? There are so many things, especially today, that are divisive in politics, but there are a certain number of things, many things, I think, where you can find some common ground, where you can work to advance those common causes.
Now, I did also have to ask Reince about that RNC platform that we saw released earlier this week. He admitted that he was surprised by that abortion language that was toned down a little bit, no call for a national abortion ban, but he said he liked and appreciated the 14th Amendment language that it ultimately landed on, Kristen.
All right, Shaq Brewster, love the bipartisan conversation. Appreciate your reporting. I will see you in Milwaukee in a couple of days.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.